Welcome to the Bible Quiz and Trivia channel. Today, we're exploring the miraculous story of the birth of Jesus with some challenging questions that will test your knowledge on this divine event. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video to support our content. After the quiz, share your score in the comments. We love seeing how well you do. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. In which town was Jesus born? A. Jerusalem. B. Nazareth. C. Bethlehem. D. Capernaum. Answer: C. Bethlehem. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, fulfilling the prophecy about the Messiah's birthplace. This event is detailed in Luke 2-4-6 and Matthew 2-1. Question 2. Who was the ruling Roman emperor at the time of Jesus' birth? A. Augustus. B. Tiberius. C. Nero. D. Caligula. Answer: A. Augustus. Caesar Augustus was the ruling Roman emperor when Jesus was born. His decree for a census across the Roman Empire is what led Joseph and Mary to travel to Bethlehem, as mentioned in Luke 2-1. Question 3. What sign were the shepherds given to find Jesus? A. A star in the sky. B. A cloud over the stable. C. A baby wrapped in cloths lying in a manger. D. Angels singing. Answer: C. A baby wrapped in cloths lying in a manger. The shepherds were told by an angel that they would find the baby Jesus wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger. This sign was unique and specific, leading them directly to Jesus, as recorded in Luke 2:12. Question 4. Who told Mary that she would have a son? A. Joseph. B. A prophet. C. The angel Gabriel. D. Elizabeth. Answer: C. The angel Gabriel. The angel Gabriel appeared to Mary to announce that she would have a son, whom she was to name Jesus. This divine announcement is a key moment in the Nativity story, detailed in Luke 1:30-31. Question 5. How did Joseph discover that Mary was pregnant with Jesus? A. Mary told him. B. An angel told him in a dream. C. He overheard the townspeople talking. D. The high priest revealed it. Answer: B. An angel told him in a dream. Joseph found out about Mary's pregnancy when an angel appeared to him in a dream and explained that Mary's child was conceived by the Holy Spirit. This divine revelation reassured Joseph, as detailed in Matthew 1:20-21. Question 6. What was Joseph's initial plan when he found out Mary was pregnant? A. To marry her immediately. B. To leave the town with Mary. C. To publicly accuse her of infidelity. D. To divorce her quietly. Answer: D. To divorce her quietly. Joseph's initial plan upon discovering Mary's pregnancy was to divorce her quietly to avoid exposing her to public disgrace. This decision reflects his righteousness and compassion, as mentioned in Matthew 1:19. Question 7. Who visited Jesus shortly after his birth, according to Matthew? A. Shepherds. B. Priests. C. Magi. D. Samaritans. Answer: C. Magi. According to the Gospel of Matthew, Magi, wise men from the east, visited Jesus after his birth. They followed a star that led them to Bethlehem, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, as recorded in Matthew 2-111. Question 8. What gifts did the Magi bring to Jesus? A. Silver, bronze, and iron. B. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. C. Scrolls, olives and wine. D. Bread, fish, and salt. Answer B. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The Magi brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh for Jesus. Each of these gifts has symbolic meanings, pointing to Jesus' kingship, divinity, and eventual suffering and death. This account is detailed in Matthew 2:11. Question 9. What was King Herod's reaction when he learned about the birth of Jesus? A. He was indifferent. B. He celebrated. C. He was disturbed. D. He immediately stepped down. Answer C. He was disturbed. King Herod was deeply disturbed when he heard about the birth of Jesus, whom he saw as a potential threat to his throne. This led to his decision to order the massacre of all male children in Bethlehem under the age of 2, as detailed in Matthew 2:16. Question 10. Why did Mary and Joseph take Jesus to Egypt? A. To meet with scholars. B. To fulfill a prophecy. C. For a census. D. To escape King Herod's decree. Answer D. To escape King Herod's decree. Mary and Joseph fled to Egypt with Jesus to escape King Herod's decree to kill all male children in Bethlehem aged 2 and under. This flight was directed by an angel who appeared to Joseph in a dream, as recounted in Matthew 2:13-14. Question 11. How did the shepherds react after visiting Jesus? A. They kept the news to themselves. B. They went back to tending their sheep. C. They told everyone they met. D. They wrote down the account. Answer C. They told everyone they met. After visiting Jesus, the shepherds spread the word about what they had been told about the child, and all who heard their story were amazed. Their spontaneous proclamation reflects their joy and the impact of the event, as described in Luke 2:17-18. Question 12. According to prophecy, out of which location would a ruler come who would shepherd Israel? A. Jerusalem. B. Nazareth. C. Bethlehem. D. Hebron. Answer C. Bethlehem. The prophecy in Micah 5:2, which is quoted in Matthew 2:6, states that out of Bethlehem will come a ruler who will shepherd Israel. This prophecy specifically identifies Bethlehem as the birthplace of the Messiah. Question 13. How many Magi visited Jesus according to the Bible? A. 2. B. 3. C. 4. D. The Bible does not specify. Answer D. The Bible does not specify. The Bible does not specify the number of Magi who visited Jesus. The assumption of 3 comes from the 3 gifts mentioned, but the actual number of Magi is not recorded in the biblical text. Question 14. What did the angel tell the shepherds in the field? A. A king has been born. B. Do not be afraid. C. Prepare to travel to Bethlehem. D. Gather everyone in the town. Answer B. Do not be afraid. The angel's first words to the shepherds were, "Do not be afraid." The angel then announced the good news of Jesus' birth, describing it as great joy for all the people, as detailed in Luke 2:10. Question 15. What does the name Emmanuel mean? A. God is with us. B. Prince of Peace. C. Light of the world. D. Son of God. Answer A. God is with us. The name Emmanuel, which is referenced in the context of Jesus' birth in Matthew 1:23, quoting 7:14, means God is with us. This name emphasizes the divine presence among humanity through Jesus. Question 16. Which prophet prophesied the virgin birth of Jesus? A. Jeremiah. B. Isaiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Daniel. Answer B. Isaiah. Isaiah prophesied the virgin birth of Jesus in Isaiah 7:14, stating, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel." This prophecy is quoted in Matthew 1:23 to highlight its fulfillment through Jesus' birth. Question 17. Who recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was presented in the temple? A. The high priest. B. Zechariah. C. Simeon. D. Both Simeon and Anna. Answer D. Both Simeon and Anna. Both Simeon and Anna recognized Jesus as the Messiah when he was presented in the temple. Simeon praised God and prophesied about Jesus' role in salvation, while Anna spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem, as described in Luke 2:25-38. Question 18. What did Simeon say to God when he saw Jesus? A. Now let your servant depart in peace. B. Bless this child and his parents. C. This child will bring salvation to many. D. Thank you for fulfilling your promise. Answer A. Now let your servant depart in peace. When Simeon saw Jesus, he said to God, "Now let your servant depart in peace, according to your word, for my eyes have seen your salvation." This statement reflects Simeon's fulfillment and joy at seeing the Messiah, as detailed in Luke 2:29-30. Question 19. What was the response of Anna the prophetess when she saw Jesus? A. She remained silent in prayer. B. She offered sacrifices. C. She gave thanks to God and spoke about the child. D. She warned everyone about Herod. Answer C. She gave thanks to God and spoke about the child. Anna the prophetess, upon seeing Jesus, gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. Her actions highlight her role as a witness to the fulfillment of God's promises, as recounted in Luke 2:38. Question 20. How old was Jesus when the Magi visited him, according to most biblical historians? A. A few days old. B. About 2 years old. C. Less than 1 year old. D. Between 3 and 4 years old. Answer B. About 2 years old. Most biblical historians suggest that Jesus might have been about 2 years old when the Magi visited, based on Herod's decree to kill all male children 2 years old and under, according to the time he had learned from the Magi. This interpretation is deduced from Matthew 2:16. Question 21. What dream did the Magi have about King Herod? A. That he would become a believer. B. That he should be feared. C. That he would honor Jesus. D. To not return to Herod after visiting Jesus. Answer D. To not return to Herod after visiting Jesus. The Magi were warned in a dream not to return to Herod after visiting Jesus, prompting them to return to their country by another route. This divine intervention protected Jesus from Herod's plot, as mentioned in Matthew 2:12. Question 22. Why did Joseph and Mary present Jesus at the temple? A. To perform the rite of purification. B. To officially name him. C. To dedicate him to temple service. D. To meet the religious leaders. Answer A. To perform the rite of purification. Joseph and Mary presented Jesus at the temple to perform the rites of purification as prescribed by the law of Moses and to make the customary offering. This event underscores their adherence to Jewish law, as detailed in Luke 2:22-24. Question 23. What did Mary use as Jesus' crib? A. A wooden cot. B. A stone basin. C. A manger. D. A fabric hammock. Answer: C. A manger. Mary used a manger as Jesus' crib, laying him in it after his birth. This detail highlights the humble circumstances of Jesus' birth, signifying his accessibility and humility, as described in Luke 2:7. Question 24. How is the birth of Jesus described in the Gospel of John? A. With detailed nativity scene. B. Through genealogy. C. As the Word becoming flesh. D. Through prophecies. Answer: C. As the Word becoming flesh. The Gospel of John describes the birth of Jesus philosophically as the Word becoming flesh and dwelling among us, full of grace and truth. This description emphasizes the divine nature and incarnation of Jesus, found in John 1:14. Question 25. What does the census mentioned in Luke tell us about the timing of Jesus' birth? A. It was during the reign of Herod the Great. B. It coincided with the Jewish festival. C. It was during a time of great prosperity. D. It required Joseph to return to his ancestral home. Answer: D. It required Joseph to return to his ancestral home. The census mentioned in Luke required everyone to go to their own town to register. For Joseph, this meant traveling to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he was of the house and lineage of David. This directive is part of what situates Jesus' birth in Bethlehem, as stated in Luke 2:3-4. Question 26. Which gospel traces Jesus' genealogy back to Adam? A. Matthew. B. Mark. C. Luke. D. John. Answer: C. Luke. The Gospel of Luke traces Jesus' genealogy all the way back to Adam, emphasizing Jesus' universal connection to all humanity and his role as the Son of God. This extensive genealogy is presented in Luke 3:23-38. Question 27. How did King Herod try to find Jesus through the Magi? A. He asked them to report back once they found Jesus. B. He sent soldiers with them. C. He pretended to want to worship Jesus. And D. He followed them discreetly. Answer: A. He asked them to report back once they found Jesus. Herod tried to find Jesus by asking the Magi to let him know where the child was, under the pretense that he too wanted to go and worship him. This deceitful plan was intended to eliminate what he saw as a threat to his throne, as described in Matthew 2:7-8. Question 28. Who wrote the first gospel that includes Jesus' birth story? A. Mark. B. Matthew. C. Luke. D. John. Answer: B. Matthew. Matthew's gospel is one of the first to include a detailed account of Jesus' birth, presenting elements like the visit of the Magi and the escape to Egypt that are unique to this narrative. This gospel begins with Jesus' genealogy and the circumstances surrounding his birth, found in Matthew 1-2. Question 29. What area did Joseph and Mary travel from to get to Bethlehem? A. Egypt. B. Jerusalem. C. Nazareth. D. Samaria. Answer: C. Nazareth. Joseph and Mary traveled from Nazareth to Bethlehem to register for the census as decreed by Caesar Augustus. This journey is significant as it fulfilled the prophecy that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem, despite the couple's residence in Nazareth, as described in Luke 2-4-5. Question 30. What celestial event guided the Magi to Jesus? A. A comet. B. A solar eclipse. C. A star. D. Northern Lights. Answer: C. A star. A special star guided the Magi to Jesus. This celestial sign led them from their home in the east of Bethlehem, where they found Jesus and presented their gifts. This event symbolizes the light of Christ reaching out to the Gentiles, as detailed in Matthew 2-1-2. Question 31. What was the reaction of Jerusalem's people when they heard the news from the Magi? A. They were indifferent. B. They rejoiced. C. They were troubled. D. They organized a feast. Answer: C. They were troubled. When King Herod and all Jerusalem heard the news from the Magi about the birth of a new king, Jesus, they were troubled. This reaction is noted in Matthew 2-3 and indicates the threat they felt to the existing power structure. Question 32. Who prophesied that Bethlehem would be the birthplace of the Messiah? A. Isaiah. B. Jeremiah. C. Micah. D. Daniel. Answer: C. Micah. The prophet Micah prophesied that Bethlehem would be the birthplace of the Messiah. This prophecy, "But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be ruler over Israel," is cited in Matthew 2-6 and originates from Micah 5-2. Question 33. How did the Magi know where to find Jesus? A. They followed a map. B. They were guided by a star. C. They had a vision. D. They asked locals upon arrival. Answer: B. They were guided by a star. The Magi knew where to find Jesus by following a star, which led them to Bethlehem. This celestial guide is noted as their directional aid in Matthew 2-2 and is symbolic of divine guidance. Question 34. What did Herod do when he realized the Magi had deceived him? A. He ignored the situation. B. He sent gifts to the child. C. He ordered the massacre of all male children under 2 years old in Bethlehem. D. He went to Bethlehem himself. Answer: C. He ordered the massacre of all male children under 2 years old in Bethlehem. When King Herod realized he had been deceived by the Magi, he ordered the massacre of all male children in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in an attempt to kill Jesus. This horrific act is recorded in Matthew 2:16. Question 35. What does the angel's message to Joseph in a dream say about Jesus' mission? A. He would be a great teacher. B. He would save his people from their sins. C. He would become a king. D. He would lead an army. Answer: B. He would save his people from their sins. The angel's message to Joseph in a dream specifically stated that Jesus would save his people from their sins. This fundamental aspect of Jesus' mission is highlighted in Matthew 1:21, where it is declared, "You are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins." Question 36. Where did Mary and Joseph live before moving to Bethlehem? A. Jerusalem. B. Nazareth. C. Hebron. D. Jericho. Answer: B. Nazareth. Mary and Joseph lived in Nazareth before moving to Bethlehem for the census. This geographical detail is crucial as it links Jesus' early life to the prophecy about the Messiah being called a Nazarene, as noted in Matthew 2:23. Question 37. What is the significance of Jesus' birthplace in relation to King David? A. It was David's capital. B. It fulfilled the prophecy of a Davidic ruler. C. It was where David was crowned. D. It was symbolic of royal power. Answer B. It fulfilled the prophecy of a Davidic ruler. The significance of Jesus' birthplace, Bethlehem, in relation to King David is that it fulfilled the prophecy that a ruler from David's line would come from Bethlehem. This link underscores the messianic prophecy about Jesus' lineage and royal heritage, as emphasized in Micah 5-2 and cited in Matthew 2-6. Question 38. Which gospel includes the visit of the shepherds? A. Matthew. B. Mark. C. Luke. D. John. Answer C. Luke. The visit of the shepherds is included in the Gospel of Luke. This account, where shepherds come to see Jesus after an angelic announcement, is unique to Luke 2-8:20 and highlights the humble recognition of Jesus' birth. Question 39. Why was the inn full when Mary and Joseph arrived in Bethlehem? A. There was a local festival. B. The census had attracted many visitors. C. The innkeeper did not like them. D. It was a particularly busy season. Answer B. The census had attracted many visitors. The inn was full when Mary and Joseph arrived in Bethlehem, primarily because the Roman census had attracted many visitors to the area. This detail emphasizes the timing and circumstances of Jesus' birth, as mentioned in Luke 2-7. Question 40. What type of place was Jesus born in, according to the Gospels? A. A guest room. B. A stable. C. A relative's house. D. A public shelter. Answer B. A stable. According to the Gospels, particularly Luke, Jesus was born in a stable because there was no guest room available for them. He was laid in a manger, indicating that the birth took place in a humble setting meant for animals, as detailed in Luke 2-7. Question 41. What did the heavenly host proclaim to the shepherds? A. A king has been born. B. Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests. C. The Messiah has come. D. Rejoice, for salvation is here. Answer B. Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests. When the angels appeared to the shepherds, they praised God, saying, Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests. This proclamation underscores the joy and peace brought about by Jesus' birth, as described in Luke 2:14. Question 42. How does the book of Matthew begin its account of Jesus' life? A. With a sermon. B. With a genealogy. C. With the baptism of Jesus. D. With a prophecy. Answer B. With a genealogy. The book of Matthew begins its account of Jesus' life with a genealogy that traces his lineage from Abraham through David to Joseph, highlighting his rightful place in Jewish history and prophecy. This genealogy sets the stage for the narrative of his birth and mission, found in Matthew 1-117. Question 43. What Old Testament prophecies are cited in the narratives of Jesus' birth? A. Prophecies from and Micah. B. Prophecies from Daniel and Ezekiel. C. Prophecies from Jeremiah and Zechariah. D. Prophecies from Psalms and Proverbs. Answer A. Prophecies from and Micah. The narratives of Jesus' birth cite Old Testament prophecies from and Micah, such as the virgin birth, 7:14, and the Messiah's birth in Bethlehem, Micah 5:2. These prophecies are used to validate Jesus' messianic identity and the fulfillment of God's promises, as referenced in Matthew 1:23 and Matthew 2-6. Question 44. How does Mary's Magnificat reflect her understanding of her son's future mission? A. It predicts his future miracles. B. It speaks of the overthrow of rulers and lifting the humble. C. It describes his future teachings. E. It emphasizes his role as a priest. Answer B. It speaks of the overthrow of rulers and lifting the humble. Mary's Magnificat reflects her understanding of Jesus' future mission through its themes of God's mercy, the scattering of the proud, the downfall of rulers, and the exaltation of the humble. This song of praise illustrates her prophetic insight into the social and spiritual reversals that Jesus' ministry would bring, as recorded in Luke 1:46-55. Question 45. How does the birth of Jesus fulfill the prophecy of 7:14? A. By being born in Bethlehem. B. By being born of a virgin. C. By being named Emmanuel. D. Both B and C. Answer D. Both B and C. The birth of Jesus fulfills the prophecy of 7:14 by being born of a virgin and his association with the name Emmanuel, which means God with us. This fulfillment is emphasized in Matthew 1:23, linking Jesus directly to the prophetic tradition of Israel. Question 46. What practical steps did Joseph take after being warned in a dream to flee to Egypt? A. He left immediately at night. B. He gathered more evidence. C. He sought advice from priests. D. He waited until Jesus was older. Answer A. He left immediately at night. Joseph took the practical step of leaving for Egypt immediately at night after being warned in a dream about Herod's plan to search for Jesus to kill him. This decisive and prompt action protected his family, demonstrating his obedience and care, as noted in Matthew 2:14. Question 47. How long did Joseph, Mary, and Jesus stay in Egypt? A. A few weeks. B. Until Herod's death. C. 1 year. D. More than 5 years. Answer B. Until Herod's death. Joseph, Mary, and Jesus stayed in Egypt until Herod's death. This period in Egypt was necessary for their safety and fulfilled the prophecy that God would call his son out of Egypt, as detailed in Matthew 2:15. Question 48. What event prompted Mary and Joseph to return from Egypt? A. A new king was crowned. B. Herod's death. C. The end of the census. D. A new prophecy. Answer B. Herod's death. The event that prompted Mary and Joseph to return from Egypt was Herod's death. An angel appeared to Joseph in a dream again, telling him it was safe to return because those who were trying to take the child's life were dead, as mentioned in Matthew 2:19-20. Question 49. After returning from Egypt, where did Joseph and Mary settle? A. Jerusalem. B. Nazareth. C. Bethlehem. D. Hebron. Answer B. Nazareth. After returning from Egypt, Joseph and Mary settled in Nazareth. This decision was made out of concern for Jesus' safety in Judea under the new ruler Archelaus, and also fulfilled the prophecy that he would be called a Nazarene, as detailed in Matthew 2:22-23. Question 50. How does the birth narrative of Jesus emphasize his messianic role? A. by showing his descent from priests. B, by focusing on his teachings. C, by linking him to prophecies and the lineage of David. D, by displaying his supernatural powers. Answer: C, by linking him to prophecies and the lineage of David. The birth narrative of Jesus emphasizes his messianic role by linking him to Old Testament prophecies and showing his descent from King David. This connection not only establishes his royal and messianic credentials, but also aligns him with God's ongoing salvation history, as seen throughout the Gospels of Matthew and Luke.